Man, by far the best athlete in this quarterback class, Malik Cunningham, a fourth-year starter and a mainstay in Louisville's program. This is a guy who's a game changer with his legs. He's an absolutely unbelievable athlete, quick twitch ability, out in the open field can make people miss. Also in the pocket as well. Love the way he works the pocket, finds space for himself to either work as a thrower or someone who's going to make you miss on the move. Outstanding athlete. Listen, I'm showing you guys the throws here. The arm mechanics aren't picture perfect, but what I like about Malik Cunningham, he throws a really nice deep ball, and also the fact that Louisville asked him to make a lot of challenging throws, opposite hash throws, out routes to the opposite hash, and Malik Cunningham has all the arm strength and the ability to do it. I really like what the guy that LSU got this year, Jayden Daniels, the quarterback out of Arizona State, joining Brian Kelly and that coaching staff down there. He started as a true freshman at Arizona State in 2019. He had a 17-2 touchdown to interception ratio, really burst onto the scene there with Herm Edwards and that crew. Now he's joining the SEC ranks, going to play with LSU. I think that Jayden Daniels could be a really interesting pro prospect. What really catches my eye about him is that his mechanics are really in sync and paired. His upper body and his lower body mechanics, they're very much so in sync. His footwork is on point. His upper body, his throwing motion is very rhythmic. It's very smooth motion, quick release. I like the way Jayden Daniels plays. I think that he can take some step forward this year in the SEC. I think that can really help his draft stock playing against that good competition. And if we see strides, if we see less turnovers, if we see a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more aggressive in his running ability, I think Jayden Daniels could be a really interesting prospect next spring. The main factor in Coastal Carolina's rise to contention over the past few years has to be Grayson McCall, their quarterback, guy who's another veteran, played a lot of games out of Coastal Carolina, really since 2020 has been one of the best quarterbacks in college football, a guy who protects the football, only has 6 interceptions in his 2 years as a starter. Compact throwing motion, makes quick decisions, doesn't waste movement into the pockets. I like the sense of urgency that he plays the game with at the quarterback position. He's a scrappy guy. He likes to get in there, get physical on runs. He might pitch in on a block or two now and then. You like to see it from a quarterback, just that scrappy, tough attitude that he has. One of the things that obviously is going to jump out to people is the fact that he broke Mac Jones' record for the highest passing efficiency in an FBS season with a 207.7 QBR in 2021. Let's see how he can follow that up in his senior year, his final year of college football, and where he can get himself ranked in the draft process. You're going to see varying reports on him. Right now, you could see him going high in some mock drafts. Some people think that he could be the quarterback of the future for the New York Jets. You might also see him go in that mid, day 2, day 3 range. Kind of depends on his season, how he performs at the combine. I'll be interested to see that, what his numbers are like, and then also how he performs at the Reese Senior Bowl, maybe at the Tropical Bowl, wherever he performs in his post-draft All-Star games. I'll be interested to see how he performs there against that competition. This is a guy who I think is going to be one of the more pro-ready quarterbacks in next year's draft class. That's Spencer Sanders out of Oklahoma State, a veteran returning for his 4th year as their starting quarterback. Named first team All Big 12 last year after leading the conference in offensive yards. This is a guy who throws the ball into open windows with really good timing, good rhythm. I like the way that he makes his decisions. He's a good decision maker who processes the game at a high level, but he can increase his draft stock by lowering his interceptions. That's going to be what a lot of people are saying about Spencer Sanders in the draft process. He struggled at times with interceptions, had a lot versus Baylor in that Big 12 Conference Championship game. But I like the way he processes the game. All his interceptions don't necessarily have to be how he's processing the game. Some of it's mechanical, some of it's overthrows, some of it is just missing a receiver on a throw as opposed to missing a read or missing a decision. Definitely someone I'm going to watch this year. I want to see him take that next step, elevate his game, get to that day 1, day 2, quarterback range, and let's see where Spencer Sanders can go from there. I'm a big fan of Ji'Ayir Brown's game, the Trenton, New Jersey native. Guy who had 6 interceptions last year in 2021 for Penn State's defense, was one of the top playmakers in the country at safety. Instinctual player, very flowy, has long range. I think that he'll translate well to the next level. Plays with really good positioning. A lot of his interceptions, he was in the right place at the right time, made a nice play on the ball, tracks tip passes well, just finds them in the air. Also a really sound tackler, likes to get in there, gritty guy, and doesn't mind helping out in the run game. Ji'Ayir Brown's a guy that I think will play well on special teams for a team and also just make plays in the secondary as a versatile guy, can move around in the secondary, can make plays in the backfield in the run game. So keep your eye on Ji'Ayir Brown for Penn State.
Jadakis Bonds from Hampton University is definitely someone who intrigues me as an NFL prospect. His 6'4" frame, speed and athleticism to pair with it is something that I think will translate to the next level. He's a guy who started the year out with a 5 reception, 122-yard game, 2 touchdown performance against Tuskegee in Hampton's opener. Encouraging to see. Nice start to the year. He's someone who had some transfer options. Looked around in the transfer portal, decided to stay with Hampton, wanted to kind of finish what he started as a senior there this year. And I think that he has all the upside to go to the next level. He's someone that we're going to see in the HBCU Bowl, likely other bowls as well, the Tropical Bowl, the FCS Bowl, could even go to the Shrine Bowl. I'm intrigued by him. I'm intrigued by his athleticism. I think that he could translate and use that 6'4" size, that speed and athleticism at the next level. I'll be interested to see his senior tape. A receiver who's really shot up my board is Charlie Jones out of Purdue, a transfer from Iowa in his first season with Purdue. Not only an outstanding kick returner, I've been really impressed with his game and his development, the strides that he's taken at the receiver position this year with Purdue. I think he's a guy who can make plays at the next level. That speed and athleticism you're seeing on special teams on kick return translates to the offensive side of the ball as well. I think this is a guy who can make plays in the slot, maybe move outside, make some plays as a vertical threat in the NFL. I'll be interested to see what the rest of his senior tape looks like. Maybe a day 3 guy, if he has a great year, maybe day 2. I think Charlie Jones is an intriguing prospect.